Yo, what is up, artists and art fans? You guys are on Chatting with Zim. Thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in to one of the best spots where we talk to all your favorite Instagram artists about the trade tools and tips. Uh, I'm your host, Chatting with Zim, and actually, I'm your host, Zim Zimma. How about we redo this all over again? How about that, you know? But I'm your host, Zim Zimma, and you guys are on Chatting with Zim. This is episode number 86. Sorry about that little hiccup there. Had a little something to drink pre the show, so I'm feeling kind of good. You know, those are always the best shows. Today's awesome artist, we got him all the way from Seattle, Washington. You guys know him. At least some of you guys know him. If you guys don't, I've been posting his work all week, so make sure. And hopefully you guys went and checked him out. Gave him that follow. We're definitely got Brendan Benson on the show, so we'll be speaking with him in a couple seconds. I see him on there. Thank you everybody else for tuning in. I see Notorious Pez, Vision Ones, Art by Grandale. Let's see, Blackjack Davy and Art by Ivan Sandoval. And T-Toner 30. Thank you guys for being the first to join in. Hopefully everybody had a great Christmas, great holidays. That's over with, but not yet. We still have one more. Today is episode number 86, kind of special. It brings the 2020 year to a close, so that's pretty cool. Also, quick shout outs to Seven is Life, the guys over there at Dead and Laughing. Of course, we can't forget about my squad, Monsters Art Clan. Check them out. Definitely a bunch of like over 20 artists, different styles and whatnot, man. So check us out. Definitely follow. Respect the Artist is another one. And a quick shout out to those Josh for Kicks, Notorious Pez, Art by Ivan Sandoval, Blackjack Davy. You guys been putting in a lot of work out there. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely see you guys. Definitely a lot more to name, man. But those are just from the tip of the tongue. And without any further ado, let's get to it. Let's go ahead and bring on the man of the hour, Brendan. Let's see. There we are. There's the list. Oh, and also a special shout out to Con Artist Graphic Design, him and Jay Strong, the Drawn Con Show. That's pretty dope, guys. If you guys haven't checked them out, make sure you guys definitely take a peek. Great stuff all the time. Great stuff from Con. So you can't go wrong, you know what I'm saying? Beats watching whatever crap we're watching on television. Oh, face reveal.
Hey, there it is.
What up, Brandon? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm good. This is actually not my real face. You've seen the movie Face Off?
Yes.
Yeah, I did that earlier. So this is actually a better looking face than what I had previously.
That's your arch nemesis face. I
Yes.
see.
Yes. Yes. He got the raw deal for sure.
There you go. Makes sense.
Yeah.
There you go.
How are
man.
you?
I am great, man. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, or belated.
Yeah.
You know?
Happy holidays.
Yeah, definitely, man. How was that?
It was different. I mean, it was basically just like a regular day, but because I don't have any, I'm out in Seattle. I don't have any family out here. So it was just my wife and my son, and we did a little trip to like an Airbnb for the weekend just to get out of the house, but
Nice.
it was pretty low key. How was yours?
It was peaceful, man. Definitely used to having more family over.
Yeah.
This time it was just the immediate family of my wife, so it was great. It is definitely peaceful. I think I knocked out like around 10, woke up at 11:30, so.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There's something to be said about not having your family around. Just gonna throw that out there. Like every now and then, it's not a bad situation.
Yeah.
Like we should probably just have like every other Christmas off from the family.
Hey, there you go. I kind of second that.
And you're from Illinois, right?
Illinois, man.
That's where I grew up. Do you know where LaGrange Park is?
LaGrange Park. I live close to LaGrange. I live in Cicero.
I grew up in LaGrange until I was like 12, and then I moved to Minnesota, but a lot of good memories there.
Damn, that's dope, dude. Hold on. I'm going ahead and pinning your stuff here at the bottom. That way
Okay.
people could go ahead and check you out.
Appreciate it.
Did I spell that right? Yeah, I think I did. Did I get the dot ink? I did. All right. So that's pretty cool, dude. Yeah, that's definitely close by. I think you guys, Oak Park, you guys might be north of where I'm at a little bit. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome, man.
But I'm
Fun fact.
guessing you're a deep dish guy. Is that be a fair
Um,
assessment?
not anymore.
No?
No, not anymore. I love pizza. I think that's probably my favorite food. But deep dish, I'm kind of tired of it, man. I just regular dish pizza, I guess. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm more of a New York style personally.
I've never
I
really
like
had New York style.
the giant like
Mm.
slices. You can fold them. You know, that's the way.
Ah.
Where all the grease just drips in your mouth. You don't have to eat it with a fork. You know, it's a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I can say that because I don't live in Illinois anymore. You're kind of screwed at this point. I think you probably got like an army outside of your house.
Man,
Pitchfork.
you know what? It's all right, man. I'm definitely well defended here in my own house. Let's put it that way. So
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
yes. They could try knocking, but they ain't getting in. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Man, that's great, man. And once again, thank you, dude, for also hopping on, man. I see you on many of the lives with the multitude of people. So pretty awesome work. Big fan of
Appreciate
your
that.
work.
Thank you.
Love the nostalgia. So I'm definitely there. You know what I'm saying?
That's our world. Yeah, I think everyone needs something. Everyone needs a little bit of nostalgia right now because nobody's loving 2020. You
No,
know,
dude.
kind of
I
sucks.
I was supposed to have my flying cars. I thought, we were
Right.
gonna live in the world of Jetsons by this time, and
Right.
we're in the world of coronavirus and Wonder Woman 84. So,
Which I
yeah,
know you loved a lot. I know you had some great things to
man,
say about that flick.
you know, definitely a lot of great things. A lot
Yeah.
of great things. They say if you got nothing nice to say, then don't say it at all. So I'll just
Okay. Okay.
stay quiet on that one.
I think I'm gonna pass on that one. Was that one on HBO Max? Is that out?
Yeah, it was. It wasn't great. I didn't
Let me
like it.
ask you, did you pay money to see this movie?
Oh no, not
Okay.
at all.
Well, that's okay then. That's
It's
not
a
bad.
it's a win. But I did lose about 2.5 hours worth of my life. So
That is true. That's probably worse. You're correct.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Blackjack says 84 is worse than Corona. I think I would have to agree with that one, man.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Yikes.
they definitely dropped the ball. DC, shame on you guys. So I mean, if you guys are Marvel fans or DC fans, we'll greatly appreciate you over here on the Marvel side. You know what I mean?
I'm just slightly on the Marvel side because the cinematic universe tips it just a little bit. But if the DC universe could catch up, it would be for me. It'd be like a no-brainer because
Oh, for sure.
DC's got great stories. It's got great characters, but their movies just kind of suck.
Mm-hmm.
If they could just catch up, I don't know. They might take the lead
They might, man. But at this point,
at this point.
they're too far. At least with the whole life stuff that happens.
Right.
Yeah. Not looking good in the game.
No, unfortunately not.
So Brendan, my man, let's get into art, man. Let's get into why everybody is here, brother. First off, besides here on Instagram, and I know you have an Etsy, etsy.com/shop/Mr. Grumble's Workshop. So let's
Right.
start there.
With Mr. Grumble.
Yes, Mr. Grumble, man. What?
So I'm a teacher, and I used to, my first teaching gig was middle school and high school, and I had Instagram. And the problem with having Instagram when you teach high school students is they all find you immediately. You cannot avoid them, right? And I was in my my 20s, so I was drinking and going out constantly, and I didn't want them seeing any of that, and I also didn't want to see what they were up to. outside of class. So I had to come up with sort of an alias, so to
Oh,
speak. And I wanted it to be something that they would never in a lifetime search for or find.
okay.
And there's these books called the Mr. Men books. They're like these short little children's books, and each one is about a different characters like Mr. Happy, Little Miss Sunshine, Mr. Grumpy, Mr. Messy. And there was this obscure guy named Mr. Grumble. It was kind of like the worst book. He was basically just like Mr. Grumpy. Like there wasn't really a difference between the two. He just kind of was like he was like this lesser version of Mr. Grumpy. Um, and he was my favorite character because no one liked him. So I just went with Mr. Grumble, and it just kind of
Nice.
stuck. So still rocking that one.
Sweet. Does that nickname uh, carry over well, and or is it
Not
just for
really.
the
I
art?
found out recently that Grumble has like a an alternate meaning. It has something to do with adult content that I was unaware of. So it kind of backfired a little bit.
Yes,
Um,
yes. It's like, hey, did you guys hear about the teacher?
yeah, I was like, oh shit, well that's not good. I should probably change that name pretty quick.
Mr. Benson? Yeah, he has an OnlyFans. Just joking, everybody. Just joking.
Yes, for real.
Yeah, for real. I
For
gotta
real.
make that out there because some
I
people,
got
woo.
yeah, got to keep my job. You know.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Do it for the kids. What type of teacher, man?
So right now I'm teaching elementary art. So I
Arts.
teach kindergarten through fifth grade. And you're
Oh,
actually right now you're in my classroom. So and the district spared no expenses. I mean, look at this place. It's beautiful. I got my
like
self-stick easel pad behind me from the company Business Source, so you know it's good. And king
yes.
size Sharpies, and that's my entire classroom right there. That's it.
Wow.
This is what I do. I teach like 3 sessions a day, just right here, basically like Bob Ross drawing. It's pretty great. It's not a bad gig actually. I mean, we just draw like robots and creatures, and we do a lot of like optical illusion art. It's actually not bad.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's dope. And do you got your own freedom for that, or
So
is
I got
it
what?
is do you have like your own freedom in the curriculum that you teach, or is it something that's like, oh, you got to do this, this, and this?
Normally, there's a somewhat there's a kind of a loose curriculum. It's pretty. I mean, it's elementary, so it's like basically things like teach kids how to use scissors safely so they don't gouge their eyes out. That's like part of the curriculum. But right, yeah, exactly. Right now, it's kind of like just entertain them for 30 minutes. We don't really care what you do with them. Just do something for 30 minutes. So it's pretty. I mean, I can pretty much do whatever I want with it. So it's fun. I don't know if they're excited to draw for 9 months, but that's kind of what it's looking like right now. I'm I'm
Nice.
I'm happy with it.
Let's see. Oh
There
yeah,
is
I
a
think.
safe way to use scissors. Yes.
Oh
You had a
man,
terrible elementary art teacher.
here we go. Yeah, I do. I did mess up on the pin there. I wrote your name instead of the your pen name.
We'll just chalk that up to that fifth drink you had before.
Yeah, man, that was great. It was some watermelon whiskey.
Oh, that is
So
an interesting combination there.
yeah, as soon as you opened it, man, so you get that whiff of watermelon. It was pretty good, nice and cold too.
Interesting. I'm a whiskey guy myself, but I've never had the watermelon.
Yeah, I've heard something Tennessee. Um, I didn't even see the label, but something Tennessee whiskey and
Okay.
whatever.
All right.
It works.
Fair enough. I think COVID is a good time to for all these companies to test out all their obscure flavors. People are going
For
to drink
sure.
whatever they're putting in a bottle at this point. It could be like mouthwash whiskey, and we're going to just suck it down at this point in our life.
For real. Yeah, that's not bad, man.
Okay.
I mean, I would just hook it up to my veins. You know what I'm saying, people?
That's kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah, yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
man.
just easier.
So, Brendan, man, let's get into your origins of your art, man. When was the first time, or what exposed you to the arts?
It's a pretty generic answer, but I've honestly been drawing for as long as I can remember. I don't have any memories of not drawing. My parents have all these pictures I drew when I was like 3 or 4. I called them Slimers, and it's
Nice.
basically like it was a very original name. It's basically like a potato with arms and legs coming out of it, and I drew them like hundreds of times. They still have a whole bunch that they saved, and I've just been drawing for like as long as I can remember. I just always gravitated towards drawing.
Okay, dope. Did you go for? Did you do any type of special schooling for art? I mean, I know you had to do it for your obviously your teaching and stuff, but I mean, is it something that did you always want to be a teacher or?
No, actually, I started off in graphic design. And I took one course and realized that that was not going to happen. I just couldn't sit in front of a computer. It's a lot of
Mhm.
like typography, and you're figuring out how to make like different fonts fit on a page, and it was just not what I wanted to do. So, about halfway through my freshman year, I decided to just give teaching a go. Figured,
Oh,
why not? Um, I think I was too scared to just take the risk and just go with a straight up art degree because, like, what the hell do you do with that?
yeah.
So I felt like teaching, I at least had something to fall back on, and I had the summers off to do my own thing. So, it seemed to make sense at the time, and I'm actually glad I went with that. It's been a good run.
No, that's pretty dope, man, and it's not a bad career to fall back on either. You know what I mean? It definitely gets back to the next generation. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. And
absolutely.
and speaking about next generation, have you noticed? Do any of your students possess that eye for art, man? You know, or is there any talent that
Yeah,
you say?
yeah. There's a lot that are like light years beyond where I was when I was in elementary school. It's impressive, and I think just having like YouTube and things like that so accessible to them. When I was a kid and when you were a kid, we were looking at those like how to draw 50 books. We'd
Yeah,
go in the library. I was checking those out. Like, I would check out every single one of those, and I would take them home. And I would get yelled at by my teacher because they want me like checking out chapter books, but I would always go straight for those like how to draw books. And that's how a lot of us learned to draw was by books like that or like copying comic books. But now they can just go on YouTube and literally type in like how to draw anything,
yeah.
and they're going to have like 100 people showing them how to do it. And I think um, it's just giving them a huge heads up than we were kids. It's a big head start, I think.
Cool. And back to your origin story here, man. Yeah, you said you started and you could remember as long as you could remember. Um, by any chance, would you happen to remember why you got into drawing? Is it
I really don't. I don't know. I think it's just something I. Some people just have a kind of a natural curiosity for things and just a natural affinity for something. And it's just something I just gravitated towards. Drawing specifically, I don't know why. I just loved making marks on pages. My parents had just like scribbles that I did, where I would just scribble on stuff. Something about just making marks and lines. I think it just appealed to me. I don't know what it was. And I've done a little bit of other things because like when you're in school for education, they make you take sculpture and painting, um, ceramics, and just about everything else because they want you to be able to at least have a little bit familiarity with it so you can teach it.
mm-hmm.
So I had to take a lot of different courses, but I always like drawing is sort of my comfort. It's always
Okay.
kind of what I go back to.
Now, out of the rest of them that you did study, man, is there anything else that you might want to gravitate towards, or
I like sculpture a lot. I do.
you
It's a
ever
lot of
try?
fun.
You ever? I mean, I know you tried it in class, but have you like actually tried it outside of school?
No, I haven't. I mean, I've done a little bit. There's been times where I've gone and got like Sculpey because it's just an easy thing to use at home. You can just bake it in
Yeah.
your oven or boil it. So there's been times where I've gotten bored and just bought some Sculpey and just sculpted something. But it's definitely something I want to like pick up again. Sculpture's a lot of fun, and I think if you can draw, you have already have kind of a sense of an idea how to make something, how to picture something sort of in a three-dimensional space.
Hmm.
And I think it carries over really well to sculpture. So I think a lot of people who draw can usually sculpt really well as well.
Yeah, you know what? It's not the first time I heard you say that, and I agree with you. I think you're right. So I mean, it's something about the artist. At least for me, it's in my head. Sometimes I'm able to like envision the imagery and then rotate it.
Yeah,
I don't know if
you
that
can
makes
almost like
sense.
rotate it in your
Mhm.
mind. Yeah,
Exactly. So not everybody could do that.
no,
It's weird. So let's see. Joy Trombone is says Benson is my hero. He has a bunch of your art collection on his wall, so that's dope, dude.
that is awesome. And that's something I'm still getting used to because I started this pretty much right when the pandemic hit and school shut down. I had nothing to do because they were not thinking about art teachers when the pandemic hit. They were just thinking about like how the hell do we get like kids
Hmm.
learning at home. So I had like nothing to do for the last like 3 months of the school year. So I just started drawing a lot. 'Cause I was trapped in my house like we all were. We had nothing to do. And I just started posting stuff on Reddit and Imager. And somebody told me I should just start an Instagram page. And so that guy was actually my first follower. He's still following me. He's a great guy. His handle is Asgardian Films. He's a really good guy. He told me just to start an Instagram page, and he kind of coached me through it.
Oh, nice.
And now I have people, buying prints and originals. I just never thought I'd be in that situation. So it's something I'm still getting used to, but
Yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
it. It's amazing.
No, bless, man, for real. And I mean, what's something that you learned this year from that? You know what I mean? From that experience.
The thing I've been enjoying most about it is I think I was really scared to do it. Like I was saying earlier, that's why I didn't take like an art major in school because I just thought, it's such a big risk. What if it doesn't pay off? What am I going to do? And so now I kind of kicking myself a little bit, thinking I should have just went back in school. I should have just taken a lot of drawing courses and just pursued that. So it's like a slight regret, but at the same time, I don't regret teaching. I love teaching, so it's kind of right now I kind of have the best of both worlds. So I'm
No,
happy with it.
for sure, dude. And you're not the first teacher. I think Sheldon Art is also an art
Yep.
teacher. The talented Mr. D. If you don't follow him, he's also an art teacher, and I think it's pretty dope. I think you said it best. You get the best of both worlds. Not only
Yeah.
do you teach and pass on whatever on to the next gen, but you also get time and work on your craft and perfect it. So that's awesome, dude. Much respect on that one.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I have a high value on teachers, man. I'm one of those people that I think they should be paid more than sports players and stuff like that. So
We'd have a lot better teachers, that's for
yeah,
sure.
for sure, man. Just education in itself, I think it's very important, especially in the U.S. You think we'd be number one, but unfortunately, we're
Should be.
yeah, man. So we'll see where that goes. You know what I mean?
We'll see.
How? Yep. How's you? You said you had a little a son as well. How old is he?
He is 6 months, so we had him right when this all started. He was my wife was about 6 or 7 months pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
so we had him pretty much right in the beginning of the whole thing, which I wouldn't recommend doing that.
Mm-hmm.
If you can avoid a pandemic while having a child, I'd probably recommend doing that. My parents still haven't met him. None of my family's met him actually.
Oh wow.
None of my close friends have met him because nobody lives out here, so everyone's kind of afraid to travel out here.
No, for sure.
Um, so it's bizarre. It's this big, giant moment in your life, and then like everyone you care about, not even there. It's
Yeah,
really
man.
weird. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate. It's very sad too, man. But it's
I'm just glad I got to be in the room because for a while there was talk about not even having the father in the room when the child's born.
mm-hmm.
That would have been soul crushing, but thankfully I was there. So
Cool. Had the whole shebang. cut the umbilical and everything?
The whole thing. I almost passed out twice.
Oh
Um,
no.
so I had to sit down while right when it was just about happening. I had to sit down. And I think the nurse looked at me for a minute, like, "What the hell is this guy sitting down for? Like, you're about to have a child any minute here." And I'm like sitting down, and I'm like, "I might pass out." She's like, "Okay, then you need to continue sitting down because we're not taking care of you and your wife." I was
Yeah,
like, "Yeah,
for
that's what I'll
sure.
probably do." And then, yeah, I have some lucid memories of cutting the umbilical cord. I think at that point I was just sort of operating on autopilot, but it was a wild experience.
Cool, man. No, well, congratulations to you and the wife, man.
Thank you.
You know, that's pretty cool. Welcome to fatherhood.
Yeah,
Part of the club now.
it is. It is an awesome club. I mean, I've been teaching for so long, so to some extent, I felt like it was about time I finally raised my own kid instead of raising other people's kids. So
There you go.
it's a different experience. You definitely don't get to clock out at the end of the day. So getting used to not sleeping has kind of been the main thing right now.
Mm. Yeah, um, that's probably gonna last at least another year or so.
Quite a while. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and that's what that is.
It's okay. It's okay. You sleep when you're dead, right? Is that
Yeah,
how the expression goes?
yeah, exactly. I see dead and laughing in here, so they obviously laugh, not sleep. So there you go. So, brother Brendan, man, what about inspiration or your influences growing up, man? Who were they?
I read a lot of comic books, but the one that I think I was probably most influenced as far as drawing goes was probably Todd McFarlane. I just loved Spawn.
Yeah.
It was like the first comic book I got like extremely into. And it was the first comic book I remember just studying all the pages and just trying to copy the way that he would shape things and his hatching, and I would just try to practice that as much as I could. And then there was an issue of there was like an issue where Spawn and Batman crossed over, and it was an awesome
Oh
issue
yeah.
because Todd McFarlane and then Frank Miller collaborated on it,
Yeah.
and so that led me into Frank Miller. So then I got into Sin City, um, and then as far as like fine arts go, there's an artist named Chuck Close who I have a lot of respect for. I love that guy. He does these giant, like 20-foot. Well, he used to, like photorealistic portraits of people.
Hmm.
And then he had some uh, physical ailment or some health problems, and so he ended up becoming just randomly paralyzed
Oh man.
from the neck down. And
Oh.
he was told he was never going to paint again, but he did a lot of physical therapy and he's able to move his arm. So he still paints these huge paintings, but he has to do it a little bit differently now. But he's an amazing guy.
Oh wow. Well, at least he's still able to do that. I'd go crazy, man, if I lose a hand.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
I'd probably be that one trying to learn how to draw with my foot. You know what I mean?
Yep,
Yeah, real shit.
I definitely would. If it came to it, I absolutely would.
Yeah.
It's like an urge you have. You just have. I mean, anyone who draws, you know what it's like. It's like an itch. You have to do it.
No, for sure. And
I don't
Phalo
know what I
Halo,
would do if I could.
yeah, Phalo Halo says Chuck Close is the bomb, so he's familiar with it.
Right?
Yeah, I'll
He's an
definitely
amazing
check him
man.
out. I'll check out his work. I'm pretty sure I've seen it, man.
You have.
I'm not good
A
with
lot,
names, but
a lot of people have seen it, and it's just one of those things you don't realize who it is until you put it all together. But you've probably seen his work before.
sweet, man. What about anybody here in particular? Like on social media?
There's a lot of people, yeah. I mean, the whole artist community in general has been. I mean, I did not know this supportive a group. I mean, I've been around a lot of artists in my life, but like, there's something different about it when it's on like Instagram or some other platform. Everyone just wants to support each other and encourage each other, and the list is honestly staggering. I mean, there's so many
Yes.
people I've had like conversations with just about art that have helped me out, and I've helped them out, and it's amazing to see everyone rallying around each other to try to get each other's artwork exposed and seen by more people, and it's overwhelming at times, but it's amazing. I mean, I met a lot of great people, and um, it's probably too long of a list to honestly list
Word.
it out, but
No, well put.
a lot of
I
them in this room, in this virtual room right now, though.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, it's definitely a bunch of talent out there, a bunch of talent in the room, man. So a bunch of heavy hitters. So everybody, make sure you guys are checking them out. If you're not an artist, then make sure you check some of these people out, man. And for you guys joining us, we are talking to Brendan Benson at benson.inc. So make sure you guys are following there. Also follow him on Etsy if you guys want some stuff, some cool prints. Follow him at etsy.com/shop/ Mr. Grumbles Workshop. Grumbles, Mr. Grumbles Workshop, guys. Any other social media, brother?
No, but you know what I've been thinking a lot about with the way Instagram is changing, kind of moving away from supporting artists. I've been thinking a lot about maybe starting a Twitter account or maybe even going back to Facebook, which I got rid of like 12 years ago. But Instagram is making some undesirable changes right now.
Yeah, yeah, they are. Um, as far as platforms, I would also recommend TikTok. You know what I mean? It's not just dancing teenagers there, but it's uh, it's a nice market for you guys that are kind of shying away from it. I would highly recommend putting your work out there because it's another market that you could potentially tap into, and you don't want to
Yeah,
close yourself out. So,
no,
and then
definitely. I'll look into it.
and then your work it's amazing, dude. It's exceptional work, top notch. You know what I mean? So, and
Thank you.
I'm not blowing smoke, man. It's the truth. So
I appreciate that.
yeah, for sure, man. Do you take commissions?
I do. I just don't right now. So I have like one more person on this list, and then once I get through her project, I'm gonna open them back up.
Sweet. I love hearing commission horror stories, man. By any chance, would you have one?
I honestly don't. I mean, most people that come to me, it's pretty like run of the mill. It's like they've seen something that I've done, and they want like they might see like that I've done a Ninja Turtles piece, so they want a Ninja Turtles piece. I've done like 4 Batman the Animated Series pieces, which has been
Oh yeah.
great. But it's kind of like once you do one thing, it kind of sparks other people to reach out for the same sort of thing. So it's all been pretty run of the mill. There was one guy that I did a Ninja Turtles tattoo for, and
Oh man.
he wanted me to do every like thing that I drew. I had to approve it with him, and he would give me all this feedback about things he wanted changed. And so it took an eternity to finish because
Oh,
every little detail he'd want changed somehow. It's actually that one right there, yeah. And it'd be
dude.
like the smallest little things, like somebody's arm would be angled a way that he didn't want it, so he would have me redraw it so the arm was angled the other way.
Oh no.
Um, he was just like a little too over my shoulder about it, but
To anal about it.
yes. I mean, I understand it's a tattoo, but at the same time, you're going to bring it to an artist and you could tell them what things you want different. A tattoo artist is going to be able to navigate that, but
Sure. Exactly.
it was still fun. I had fun making that one.
But dude, this is freaking amazing, dude. I think regardless of all the efforts, the bad efforts you went through it, I think at the end result is freaking sick. I dig the background. I dig the layout. That shredder is looking killer. That Rocksteady and Bebop. I dig the your style in
Yeah, it's funny actually. If you go back to Rocksteady there, so I totally fucked up the mouth, and it had it drawn way up, like by his cheekbone, and he ended up looking like an alligator instead of a
okay.
rhino. So then I had to erase it with like a sandpaper eraser, but there was still like a little bit of a line. So I ended up just drawing band-aids on his face instead,
It's
just
probably
to
like
cover it up.
right. Oh man. Yeah, no, I mean
But
I can't tell. That's something, as an artist, you know, we're able to always see that mistake. But
he didn't
uh,
know about that. He did not know about that. He would have been very upset if I had told him that. I was just like, hey, what do you think about Band-Aids on his face? He's like, oh, I love that idea. Go for it. I was like, thank God.
Nice. That's what's up, dude. This is definitely one of my favorite pieces here, dude.
Thank you. That was one of the
It
first commissions I ever did. So that was a fun first commission to do.
for sure, man. And then I noticed, like this stuff here. This is another question I had. It's so sick earthworm gem, and then we get closer up here. Oh, this is another sick piece, dude.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
that was a fun one too.
And then your whole style takes like a nice little I don't know how to call it, but all of a sudden it's just like another tier here. It kind of like leveled up, a little bit more
Yeah,
detail.
no, you're
Um,
totally right. I mean, this what you're looking at was, I mean, I've always been drawing, but I haven't been drawing like every day, um, with the exception of the last like 7 months. So once October hit this year, once Inktober hit, that just really pushed me to a whole another level because it's not just drawing every day. You have to finish like a whole complete piece of art in one
mm-hmm.
day. And so it pushed me to like really try to push what everything I was doing to another level. And then at the same time, you have all these other amazing artists out there inspiring you to take your work even further because you see the things that they're putting out in a day. And so I think Inktober is grueling as that was, it definitely pushed me to take everything I was doing to the next level.
No, it definitely shows, man. Because like I said, there's that one little. It's cool, it's great, and all of a sudden, it's like, holy crap! This is
Yeah. Yeah.
in Todd McFarlane's words, it's a lot sexier. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Uh, so I joined in. I started following you when you were doing the Pennywise with the teardrops as balloons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that was a couple months ago, man. But the Jita, everything, the Among Us is freaking amazing, dude. The
Thank
just
you.
the details in it. You did the what's this guy called? Doug? No, is it Doug? Yeah,
That's
Doug.
Doug. Yeah.
Doug.
Quail Man, actually. But yeah, that's Doug.
So
My goal was to make Doug cool. That was actually a very difficult task because I don't think Doug is very cool. He's not meant to be. He's not supposed to be cool. I mean, he's wearing underwear on the outside of his pants for crying out loud. He's not meant to be cool, but I wanted to do him justice and make him look like a badass.
yeah, I think you did accomplish your mission, my friend. So
I related to that guy. He was like the awkward, shy kid, which was me, who drew a lot and had like an active imagination for much longer than he should have, which is also me. So I just related to that guy. I like Doug.
sweet. Great execution, dude. Great coloring. Uh, yeah, man, you definitely got an eye for all this stuff, dude. For the art. Same thing with the. Well, obviously, it's not the Baby Yoda anymore. It's what's
It's
it called?
Grogu now.
Grogu. Yeah, I call him. Who calls it Grogurt or Gogurt?
Sounds like like a pasta dish, but I'm still getting used to it.
For real, pass the Grogu, guys. Put a little bit of Grogu on that pasta there. You know,
Sounds delicious, actually.
it does sound delicious. It's making me hungry. So we've just reached the a little bit over half an hour, man. At this time, let's go ahead and do something I call Josh's Tools. This is the place where if you have any of your tools that you work with, man, hopefully you do. We'll take a little peek at them and see what Benson Inc. uses. You know what I mean, and what he
Sure.
recommends.
I'll go grab a few things.
For sure. And while you guys are here waiting, while we wait, we are talking with Brendan Benson at Benson.Inc. You guys could also find him at Etsy at Mr. Grumble's Workshop. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you guys go check out this shop, get some prints. Definitely show some love, man, especially Benson here. being the last for this 2020 Chatting with Zim episode. I know the year, it's weird. The year started in November, but you know what I'm saying. At least for the show, you guys know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And while we wait, let's go ahead for next month, guys. No particular order. We are definitely going to have Trip Design Studio. We're having Art by Grandel again, returning guest. Another returning guest is con artist graphic design. He'll be joining us in January, as well as Art by the Anomaly, and maybe a nice little Halo in there in February. So keep your eyes peeled. And yeah, it's going to be great, guys. So we got the myth and the legend back in the house, unless I seen a ghost. There he is. What an entrance.
Okay. So it's all pretty run of the mill, like nothing crazy or anything, but I'm very anal about things being precise.
Mm-hmm.
Like it drives me nuts if something's not centered or whatever. So I always draw on one of these mats. And I usually start by just drawing some guidelines just through the paper so I know where the center is throughout the drawing. And I use these I do like a lot of like thin sort of frames around the piece, so I'll use this to just make sure it's marked out evenly. Giant ruler. Anytime I'm doing circles,
There you
use
go.
these. I mean, anytime. They're very like particular about it. But other than that, it's Copics, just because I like the brush tip.
Yes.
I use that pretty much exclusively. I don't really use the chisel tip much at all. But and I use for the highlights the Sakura Jelly Roll pens are good. They don't have quite as much coverage as the Posca paint pens, but they make these pretty fine tip. And then I use kind of controversial. Some people hate these, the multi-liners from Copic. I know some people really hate these, but I love them. I think the ink is like jet black, so I really like that. It doesn't have that kind of brownish tint to it that it sometimes has. And you can refill them. So I mean, if you can refill it, you're saving a lot of money.
What? That I did not know.
Well, they make two. So the SP line you can refill, then there's another line that's cheaper that you can't. So a lot of people end up getting the cheaper one, not knowing that the difference is going to save you money.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And that's the Copic fine liners.
They're multi-liners, but they have to be the SP. They come in these metal cases, and then the other ones, the regular multi-liners, are black, and they come in a plastic tube, and they're not refillable.
Because I have these, but these are like the cheap Amazon ones, you know?
I have a set of those too. Yep. I used to use those as well.
But, I mean, the ink is amazing, so that's pretty cool. And it looks like the fuse was blown?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it looks like the fuse was blown, guys. No, but that's dope, man. For your jelly roll, how does that work on, like, over the ink?
It works pretty well. I mean, the coverage is not as good as like the paint pen. This is a lot. These are a lot thicker.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go over it a few times. You can just kind of get like one line will get you a nice, clean highlight. These you have to maybe do like 2 or 3 times. So if you're doing like a lot, it's really good for like if you're framing something and you can go back over it with a ruler a few times precisely. These work great. But if you're just like sketching with them, it doesn't have the right amount of coverage. But they're finer tips, so you have to do like really small, detailed stuff. They are better for that.
While we're talking about tools, something I highly recommend to every artist that they should have in their toolbox is the Uniball Signo.
I don't have that one.
Yeah, this one, dude, I guarantee you will fall in love, and there's no other like it. The only drawback, the only con to this is that if you like do it too quickly, you will kind of leave like that ballpoint pen streak. But
Yeah.
besides that, if you nice and smooth line, it goes on top of everything. Alcohol markers, especially, it covers it up. Highly recommended, dude.
And that has white ink in it, or is that just regular ink?
No, this is white ink. So there you
Oh,
go.
okay.
You will
Um,
love me for this, man. Trust me.
no, I will definitely order some tonight for sure.
Yeah, it's when it comes down to like highlights and stuff like that.
That's the
Trust
one.
trust me, people. I did have no idea why they haven't sponsored me yet. Been getting so many artists on that one, man.
All right, I'll do it. I'll put in a word for you as well.
Word. Good to know. Back with your as far as tools, man. Any other colors you use besides Copics? Something you might not recommend?
A lot of people ask. A lot of people don't want to pay for Copic, and I think they don't realize that it's an investment up front, but you can refill them for cheap. So, like a lot of companies make those alcohol-based markers, but they don't. You can't refill them. So and a lot of them don't even sell individual colors. So if you want to get
Yeah.
another color, you're just screwed. You got to buy like a whole new set, which is just wasteful. But if you don't have the money for Copic, which I totally understand, they are expensive. Milo markers, Milo. I'll get the box.
Milo markers. That's a new brand.
So these are a good. They're really affordable, but they're not like cheap. Like they're pretty high quality, but I think like one of these is I don't know, it's less than $40, and this is a 12 pack. And then you can get like a 24 or maybe it's a 36 pack for I think like $40. So if you need some on the cheap, these are pretty good. And the company is awesome. They've actually they sent me this box for free just because they saw me
Oh,
using them on Instagram.
wow.
The guy who I don't know who it was, but somebody at the company just said, "Hey, can we send you some of these for free?" And I was like, "Absolutely, yes."
Man,
So
well,
the company is awesome. They got a good presence on Instagram, and if you're using their stuff and tagging them, they will definitely reach out and support you and try to share your work and send you some stuff. So that's a good one.
that's good to know, man. I think I might reach out. I would definitely love to get sponsored someday and give back. You know what I mean to you artists and fans out there, and be able to hook you guys up as well, man. You know what I mean? So that's the goal.
Absolutely.
That is the goal, my friend. Um, as far as paper, what type of paper are you currently work with, man?
I use a Bristol 300 series, so it's designed for marker, and you can do a lot of layering, so that's important to me. Some people don't layer quite as much, but I do a shit ton of layering. I mean, I'll start with like a really light color and work my way up to the
Mm-hmm.
darker tones, and it can handle a lot of layering. I've never had an instance where it's been oversaturated. Some papers you can only do like 3 or maybe 4 layers, and it's already too saturated. It just can't handle much more than that. But the Bristol paper, it's really thick, so it can handle a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I just got some toned tan paper, which is I did the Grinch on,
Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
which
That was awesome.
I'm really feeling that because, just to do like simple black and white pieces on that. I love that paper. It can't handle a lot of ink, and it's not really meant to. So you really only get like a couple layers on there, but it's really fun to work with, especially if you're into highlighting. I did all the highlighting with the Sakura Jelly Roll pen because that's all
Mm-hmm.
I had this weekend. So and it just shows up really well on that paper.
Yeah, the signal, the one that I mentioned, definitely on Bristow, spot on. Even on watercolor paper, once you got your watercolors on there, and definitely goes over it nice and it covers well, dude, exceptionally well. And I did some research on them, so
I'm definitely gonna look into it because the Sakura one, it's good, but it's kind of spotty. Like sometimes the coverage isn't great, sometimes it is. So if I can get something smoother that's as thin as this, I'd definitely be into that.
yeah, man. I guarantee it, brother. As soon as you get it in your hands and use it the first time, you're definitely gonna want to do it. Of course, same rules apply. Don't do it right after you lay down
Right.
some red or something because you're gonna pick it up and it's gonna turn pink. Um, so keep that in mind. Make sure it's your alcohol marker ink is it's dry. Uh, last question with the whole art thing. Any other? You ever think about going digital?
Do I do I ever think about going digital? Yes. So my wife was actually generous enough to get me a Surface Pro. I think it was a 6. She got me that to hope to kind of like push me in that direction, and I was using it for a while. I did a few things on it, but I just could not get used to the how slick it was. I
Hmm.
needed like the grit of the paper. It just felt like my I wasn't like drawing on anything. And then also the programs for that aren't as good as like on a Mac. So I think if I'm really gonna do it, I'd have to invest in like a iPad
Yeah,
and get like Procreate or something like that. I'm definitely interested. I just nothing is ever gonna replace drawing for me. It's just not. But it'd be a nice
traditional.
option. Yeah, it'd be a nice option, but it's just never nothing's ever gonna replace that. I just to be able to have it in your hand and be able to like smudge it with your finger, there's just nothing that's gonna replace that.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. I'm a big. I mean, I've always been traditional. I definitely dabbled in digital just for a few months. Definitely want to get back on it because I think for the type of business that I want to do, I need digital. So
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the same way. I mean, it'd be a lot easier to do prints and stickers and that kind of thing. And I know I would enjoy it. I know I would get really into it. I just haven't made the leap yet.
cool. So aside from drawing and teaching, what are some other things that you enjoy doing, man?
Drinking definitely is a fun pastime. I like whiskey and beer,
Okay.
craft beer.
Okay.
Um, I used to go see a lot of movies back when that was a thing. I love going to see movies out there, but
Golf.
I'm not athletic at all. So disc golf really appeals to me because I can stand in one spot and just throw something, and as long as I can go find it, I've succeeded. So disc golf is another one.
Nice. Now for the craft beer, your favorite?
Ooh, that's a tough question. Um, I would say it's more. It'd be easier to say my favorite type of beer right now. I think is a pilsner or something really clean. Really into the IPAs right now. I think it's just like there's too many IPAs out there.
Okay.
But a good pilsner all day.
Nice. Anything you recommend?
Well, I don't know what you would be able to get out there, but Lagunitas is always good. I think they
Okay.
distribute pretty much everywhere. They have really good pilsner. It's got like a little bit of bite to it.
Lord. Well, I being a heavier set man, I do prefer the IPAs. Anti-Heroes being one of them. Zombie Dust being also up there. If you ever try that, delicious.
Do you guys get Surly down in Illinois?
I'm not sure. No, I don't think we do, but I might be wrong though. You know what I mean? I'm
From
not a big fan.
From Minneapolis. Surly makes some really good IPAs. They're kind of like the classic West Coast, like super hoppy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you might be able to get them from where you are. So look out for Surly, Surly.
Surly. All right, I will definitely check that out, man. I'm always up to try some beers, so for sure. Uh, as far as that and your hobbies, how do you balance your work and your art career, man?
Pretty poorly. Because I think my son he goes to daycare during the day, so I teach during the day, and then I'll have him for the evening. Just my wife and I will take care of him for the evening, and then like 7 p.m. till like midnight is when I might have an opportunity to draw. So that's usually when I do some drawing. So it's usually pretty late, and then I'm usually staying up too late because I want to finish something, and then I'm repeating this cycle of not sleeping. So that's kind of the life I'm in right now.
And I know it looks like we're down to the last 5 minutes for the top of the hour. You want to stick around for another 15, 20?
Yeah, I can stick around.
Yeah, yeah. I got some stuff going on. Some a couple friends in the back, but yeah, who cares? I can see them whenever. Suckers. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you said you were gonna be here at 10." Blah blah blah.
They're just pissed about the deep dish comment you made
And that's
earlier.
probably
I
what it
think that's
is, man.
probably what it is.
I think they heard me and they kind of like, you know what? I think
Like,
Zim's out of
who's this asshole? Who doesn't like casserole pizza? I mean, come on.
for sure. And
It was
yeah,
definitely designed to be eaten with fork.
no, don't get me wrong, man. Deep dish is amazing. It's something that as a pizza lover, I would have to have. But it's nothing that I have to have every time I eat pizza. You know what I mean? So,
I do know what you mean. I agree with you. I got your back. I don't physically have your back because I'm not there, but I'll definitely cheer you on if they start,
bro,
piling on you.
Brendan, man, the cancel culture is gonna come and get me, dude. They're gonna be like, you know what? You're from Chicago and you don't love deep dish. Yeah, my Chicago card just,
It's done.
it's
You're done.
done, dude. It's done. It's freaking
Seattle
done,
will take
baby.
you. Seattle will take you with open arms. We're very accepting of everyone and their choices in Seattle, so
Oh, nice.
you
There
can
you
come out
go.
here.
Seattle, it is.
You can live in my basement for a while if you need to.
Some tossed salad and scrambled eggs, everybody.
Exactly.
Where's that? Where's
Frasier.
that? There you go.
Frasier. Good,
There,
good reference there.
there you
Great
go.
show.
Great, great show, man. I loved it. A lot of knock. I hear a lot of people knock it. At least my circle of friends. But I'm like, man, you guys don't know what the hell you're missing.
Frasier is good.
Yeah,
Frasier's really good.
it's very good. Um, and Thalo Halo reminded me. Represent. That's right. Represent for Chicago. Reminded me for the giveaway, man. That is right. Today,
That's a good one.
this is the Beast Titan from Attack on Titan, introduced in season 3, I believe. Um,
It's also
yeah.
what my son looks like most mornings at 5 a.m. Right there.
Dad, 5 more minutes. Oh, he doesn't even
Milk.
say that. It's more like meh, 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 meh. Yeah. So there we go, guys. This is the giveaway. Let's go ahead and you want to participate in this, brother, or you want to sit this one out?
I will help you with it, but I think somebody else should have a chance to win it. I'm on a lucky streak right now. I don't want to,
Mm.
be the man of the hour and then also take the prize. I think people would be upset with me on that. Plus,
Yes.
I won. I won like a couple rounds ago.
No, that's good, man. There's definitely no limit on how many wins you could take it. If you win them all the time, you win them all the time. Eventually, like I said in past shows, that I want these to float around and be like, hey, I'll trade you, Zim's artwork, and that's what the
I'm
purpose
not
of
giving
this.
mine away. Mine was really good. It's not
Yeah,
happening. Keeping that one.
I better not find them on eBay. I'll tell you that much. I'll be pissed. All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and I'm gonna ask a question this time. So hopefully you guys were paying close attention. Let me have two. That is two uh, of Brendan's. What is it? His inspiration, his artist inspiration. Let me get two. There were three that he mentioned, but let me get two. Two out of the three. So there you go. And while we wait, brother, let's go ahead on with the convo. Uh, being on Instagram and obviously having all these people just following you, man. How does that make you feel, dude?
It's bizarre. I don't. There's two parts of it I don't necessarily like, and it's the trying to gain followers. I don't love that part of this job, I guess you could say, and the financial part of it, having to negotiate with people about price or a commission. Those are the two things I don't particularly like. But you have to be aware of them and you have to do them. I mean, if nobody's following you, then nobody's gonna pay you to do anything. So
Word.
kind of have
And
to. I don't enjoy it though.
you don't enjoy it?
I don't enjoy like the idea of like trying to accumulate followers. I don't like that idea.
Mm. No, I mean it looks like you're on to you're doing good, man. Great success. Just keep doing what you're at it. And looks like Pez took this. Thalo, yes, you were right. You were half right. You needed 2 out of the 3. Pez came in right underneath you for the win, close on the top father. That's right. Third one he said was of course Frank Miller. So there you go. Congrats, Pez, you anime freak. It'll be sent out to you. Pez is a man.
He is. He's a good guy. It was the first live I ever did with Pez. He was very gentle, by the way.
It's not what I heard. Not with me, man. This guy's brutal. It's that tough love, man.
No, we had a good time. I had a good time with him.
No, but yeah, definitely great guy, man. Definitely loves picking artist brain as well. So that's cool. As far as challenging yourself, man, how do you go ahead and challenge yourself?
That's a good question. I mean, you kind of pointed it out earlier. I think, when you look at like the first half of the stuff that I've done, I don't think I was really pushing myself at all. I was just kind of doing things. If something came to mind, I would just sit down and draw it, but I wasn't trying to draw it to the best of my ability necessarily, if that makes sense.
Yes.
But then like the second half of the stuff that I've been doing, I've been trying to push everything that I'm doing just a little bit more. And I think the biggest opportunity I have is understanding anatomy better. So I've bought some how to draw anatomy books and I'm just trying to read up on that. And that's kind of my biggest opportunity right now, I think.
What about how do you charge your creative batteries? Or are you a machine and never run out of energy? Yeah.
No, I definitely do. So I take on like a decent amount of commissions, but doing like my own personal stuff, whatever kind of inspires me in the moment, I have to have opportunities to do that sort of in between paid projects. Because I kind of go crazy. If everything I'm doing is just something that somebody asks me to do, I go a little stir crazy. I kind of need to be able to just draw whatever I'm feeling or whatever I'm inspired by at the moment. Like the Grogu piece I did, I saw that episode and I was just like,
Oh, yeah.
I gotta fucking draw that. That's happening. So I need to be able to have those moments where I can just sit down and draw something kind of in between paid projects. So that's kind of my way of recharging. I'll do like a commission and I'll do like 4 projects of just my own, and then I'll take on a commission again.
Nice.
So it takes me a while to get through a list, but it also allows me to keep my sanity.
Good. And we actually had a question too. We actually had it about 40 minutes ago from Josh, but I think it was too early at the time. So let's go ahead and ask it now. It says, what skills have you focused on growing more in this year? That's a great question.
It's been a lot more layering. So when I was starting with color, sort of in the first half of the stuff you saw, I was just kind of like maybe 2 layers of color, and that was kind of it. It's almost sort of like you're coloring in a coloring page, so to speak. Every area had kind of an isolated or like an assigned color to it, and I wasn't using the marker like paint, and it hadn't really occurred to me yet that I could. So once I started realizing I could treat it like paint, I think for me that opened up a lot of doors. I started layering a lot more. Started kind of working, sort of intentionally starting with the really light colors and tones, and sort of working into deeper ones, just like you would if you're painting. So for me, that was a big opportunity for me and a big moment to kind of take hold of and push things a little bit further.
No word. Um, I'm trying to think of how I could phrase this. When you when you introduce yourself as an artist, do you introduce yourself as a just as an artist, or as a fan art artist, or do you think those type of titles um, kind of take away from the honest of being an artist? You know?
I usually introduce myself as an art teacher, and then people will ask, well, do you do any art yourself? And then I'll usually say yes, but I don't think I've ever introduced myself as an artist first. But as far as the fan art thing goes, there's definitely a lot of people that throw shade at that. They sort of, it's almost like fan art isn't legitimate to some extent. But I think that's totally bullshit, because if you think
Oh
about
yeah,
like the 60s and 70s, like pop art was fan art. That's what pop art was, right? Andy Warhol was creating paintings of, Marilyn Monroe. It was fan art, right?
yeah,
But nobody calls fan art now pop art, but that's essentially what it is. There's really no difference between the two. But everyone wants to kind of call it fan art and sort of like downgrade it or something, like diminishes it, like it's not real art if it's fan art, and I just don't agree with that.
yeah. I think as far as fan art, I think you see that mainly in like the whole comic book realm. At least that's where I get
Right.
it from. You know what I mean? So, but I totally agree with you, man, and it makes perfect sense. You know, fan art equals pop art. You know, which it
Right.
is what it is. Yeah.
It's
I
just reflecting, whatever popular culture is, whatever's popular at the time. We just choose to reflect that and draw that and be inspired by it. That's what pop art is. It's really the same thing.
Yeah, and the reason for the question was because I when I introduced myself, I'm an artist, do comic book work, comic book fan artwork, I guess, to be more specific. But recently, this year, a lot of people have been started calling me a nostalgic artist. So I got put into that sub genre category. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
I
okay,
don't mind
so
that. That one's not bad. I would accept nostalgia artist. I think I would embrace that. That one's not bad.
and for some reason, I see you doing a lot of nostalgic fan art, and it's right up my alley, dude. It's great stuff. You know what I'm saying? Love the little spin on everything you got going on. Uh, yeah, yeah, man. It's I don't know what else to say. You look at some of your first pieces; they're very, very comic book. Like the Gambit, the
Right.
Spider-Man, Nightcrawler. That was dope. Uh, you know what I mean? And then after that comic, then you have this point where you started just doing more fan work, more fan art, and then DC, and then it branches off.
Yeah, I think. I mean, the reason that I do, a lot of people ask me why I don't do like my own original concepts or I don't do other things, but for me, like to sit down, like when I was drawing Doug for that project, I swear I started remembering all these episodes that I had forgotten about. I started remembering like what his voice sounded like, where I would watch him in my parents' house, like episodes I watched with my brothers. That stuff I had completely forgotten about. But when you sit down and you draw it, all this stuff comes back to you that you forgot about. And then when you put it out there, other people experience that as well. They're like, "Oh shit, I
Yes.
forgot about that shit." So like to be able to spread that to other people, I think I love that. And to me, I just want to pursue that as much as I can for myself and for other people. It's a little selfish, but I mean, I don't know. I enjoy being able to relive all those moments I totally forgot about.
Nice. Well said, man. Um, yeah, man. For me, on the other hand, it's more of like I love drawing. This is this is what made Zim. Everything that you're seeing as far as all my artwork, that's what made me who I am now.
Right.
I'm a big kid at heart, man. I still collect action figures or Barbies, as likes to call them. Um, but I'm into that shit. You know what I mean? And that kid in me is still alive. And I don't know, man. I'm a Toys
And
R
I
Us
think
kid.
you should keep that kid alive. I mean, I think we grow up too fast. I think it's just a problem of our culture. We're just like very quick to grow up. And I think we should be allowed to just kind of be kids a little bit and
Yeah,
enjoy some of those things and not feel ashamed of that or embarrassed by that.
yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, definitely not embarrassed by it. I don't really care. I don't care about
You should.
people's opinions. Yeah, yeah, I don't. Opinions, Dad. Opinions, as my daughter would say it. Man, how about you, bro? Superpower. If you had one, what would it be?
So, I mean, flight and like being able to teleport, I think is a pretty generic answer, although that would be pretty amazing. I got one that I think is maybe you haven't heard yet. So I'm going to give you my second choice just because I don't think it's a common power.
Okay, let's see.
So
Let's hear it.
there's a character, is an X-Men character. His name's Darwin. He was in first class for a little bit. He died like halfway through the movie, but he has the ability to sort of instantly adapt or change to survive or um, any sort of like any
Yeah, yeah.
situation he's in. So if he's like drowning, his body just develops gills so he can breathe underwater. Or if he's surrounded in fire, his skin can become instantly fireproof. Or maybe he becomes metallic or something like that. So he instantly adapts like immediately to survive whatever situation he's in. And I think that would be a pretty badass power to have.
And that's your second choice, dude.
That's my second
Nobody.
choice. I mean, teleportation would be like, that'd be amazing to just be able to just be somewhere immediately. Because I love to travel, so to just be able to just like put myself on a beach somewhere for 5 minutes would be amazing. But also being able to like instantly evolve would be pretty sweet as well.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I think that Darwin, hence the name, right?
Yeah,
Evolution.
because everyone
Uh,
wants like Wolverine's powers, so like the healing factor. But the thing about Wolverine is he's still gonna get stabbed and shot. You know, he's gonna heal quick, but he's still
oh
getting
yeah,
stabbed.
oh yeah.
Darwin's never gonna get stabbed. You know,
He
I'm just trying to avoid being stabbed. Is really what it is.
there you go. Yeah, and then Wolverine says it all the time. His claws they hurt. They hurt like shit. He's just so
Right.
used to it. They still sting though. That's dope. Favorite hero, superhero, and favorite villain. I don't care what universe, whatever. Just favorite hero and villain.
The child in me would say Spawn, for sure. But the adult in me would say Spider-Man. I think for me he was the most relatable, just because he was kind of he was a little artistic, and because he was a photographer and he was just like dorky and kind of scrawny, which is me. Like I'm very scrawny. I don't have like an athletic build at all. So Spider-Man was always sort of like the most relatable for me.
Okay.
Um, and then I feel like you have to say Joker, although the Batman Who Laughs is a pretty badass villain.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, you taking Batman and Joker and combine them into one, that's a pretty fucking badass villain.
Yeah, that that is a badass villain, dude. You make a great point on that. I dig that. And the last question, as far as powers and all that stuff go, hero or villain, what would you be?
Mm. I would be a hero. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I chose to be a teacher, so I mean, I don't think I would have it in me to be a villain. I would be able to watch like children die or, you know, plan out scenarios where they would die. I don't think I have that in me. It'd be fun to play one, but I don't think I would be one.
Oh man. Well, I would see you in battle, friend. I will see you in battle.
You would choose you
I'd be a
choose
total
villain.
bad guy. I'd be a total bad guy, dude. I I'd be a total bad guy. let's put it this way: my favorite villain of all time is Magneto. So you know,
That's a good one. He kind of rides the line a little bit, though. I mean, he's not like
yeah,
full
yeah, yeah,
on villain.
yeah. Let's put it this way: the world will label me a villain. Uh, but yeah, man, I definitely do some evil shit, man. I might switch sides later in life, but we'll see about that.
Okay, that's fair.
Not set in stone. Uh, and that's pretty much all I have, man. There's a lot more we could get into, but I don't want to steal more of your time. We are down to maybe last 10, 15 minutes. If there's anything else you want to go ahead and promote, definitely let us know about it. Maybe something I didn't. People, you guys want to ask a question, definitely drop it in the little question mark bubble down there, and that way we could go ahead and share.
I don't think there's anything more to promote. I feel like I've promoted myself enough. Um, but I love what everyone's doing. I mean, a lot of the people that are here right now, I mean, they truly do inspire me every day. I love being able to open up Instagram and see what everyone is doing and what they're up to. Um, and I love being able to connect with people, and I think it's just truly an amazing little community, and I'm very, very appreciative of it. I don't think I would have pushed myself, last October if it wasn't all these people around me encouraging me and supporting me to do that. So big thank you.
Cool. And for me, I just second that, dude. And it's definitely seeing you guys work. Someone like yourself, it's I gravitate especially to the whole nostalgia and the art style. I definitely see that 90s influence in your art style, dude. So to me personally, that's the type of style that I like seeing in artists. So I kind of gravitates more to you guys. Um, Blackjack Davy is asking, how many spiders do you think you could fit in your mouth?
Well, one spider is enough. So one
There you
spider is
go.
how many I would fit in my mouth, and I would never want any more than one spider in my mouth.
Oh, holy crap! It depends on what type of spider too. I don't think you can get one
I
of
I
those.
don't think it does. I think one is enough. I think that's pretty much my limit on spiders in my mouth, for sure.
Let's go. Let's see. Here's another one from Josh. It says, "I paid $2,000 for a Martha Stewart kaiju piece and never received it. Where's my money?"
Well, Martha Stewart offered me more, so she now has it hanging in her house. She has got
There.
more money. I mean, that's just as simple as that.
Yeah, there you go.
Plus, she hangs out with Snoop Dogg. I'm just hoping she can make that connection happen.
Ah, yes, 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 yes. Is it legal out there in Seattle?
Weed?
Yes.
Very, very. We're sort of approaching the point where I think shrooms are going to become legal at some point soon here. So, yeah, very legal.
I, you being a teacher, I'm not even gonna ask.
Well, it's pretty much. I think being an art teacher is pretty much accepted at this point that you probably either smoke weed or have smoked a lot of weed in your life. So most
Great
people are
answer.
pretty fine with it.
Yes. T-Toner 30, the homie, is asking, which is your best pencil to draw with? Is it number two regular, mechanical, or Blackwing, or Sketcher?
I honestly don't use anything super fancy. It's just this cheap ass Mozart mechanical pencil. It's a .7. Um, it's a harder lead, and this is what I use. I mean, the softer lead I don't like that as much because it smears all over the place, especially with the Bristol paper. It's so smooth.
Mm-hmm.
If you're using like a soft lead, it just smears all over the paper. So it has to be something kind of. It has to be like a harder lead, but I like this just because I don't have to sharpen it.
Word. And then there's a little pause in the video. Hopefully it's not. There we go. So Josh is asking, he's saying, great work, and he can't wait to see everything yet to come.
Appreciate you, Josh. Josh is an amazing supporter of everybody and he's a very talented artist. And speaking of
Yes.
like going to the next level, I feel like Josh is currently going through that right now. So it's
Yeah.
exciting to see.
Yes, he is. Yes. 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 Josh for Kicks, people. Make sure you guys are checking him out. Definitely, definitely, man. Talent, man. I see you guys. Not just everybody in here, as far as my squad too. You know, the Monsters Art Clan. Everybody this year has been leveling up, and it's just amazing, dude. It's amazing having so many people, you know, inspiring each other and backing each other up, man. So, yes,
Totally agree.
love the community, man. Love the community we're in. I fucking love it. Can't say more great things about it. Um, that being said, anything, any projects that you want to accomplish, or anything you want to accomplish for the new year, bro?
So I want to finish up the Nickelodeon series. For some reason, I think of things in threes, and so I have to do one more. And I think it's probably going to be Rugrats. And then I want to do at some point like a Cartoon Network series. And then I haven't really thought too much further beyond that.
And maybe last question to close it out, my man. Uh, Last real question, and then a comment. Haters. How would you handle haters? There's a bunch of hater talk I've seen earlier today, and they're everywhere. You know what I mean?
Probably referring to Pez. Is that what you mean? Um,
Yeah, yeah. Especially Pez. He's a big hater, big time hater.
big time. Um, I, s- I mean, as being a teacher, I mean, I've had a lot of things said to me and at me. So I mean, I have pretty thick skin. But when it comes to something that I created and drew and put out there, I mean, I post a lot of stuff on like Reddit, and Reddit's sort of like the Wild West. You're gonna get like very supportive, encouraging stuff, and then you're gonna get these assholes who just come in and just for no reason tear it down. Um, so for me, it's like I have to figure out, is this somebody who's just trying to get a rise out of me and just get me upset? Because in those situations, I like to actually flip it on them. If you can get them upset, not by insulting them or yelling at them, I don't do that. I don't believe in that, but I intentionally will be so frustrating and so like just like I whatever they're saying, I just try to sound like I really appreciate what they're saying and I'm really thankful for them. And then the other thing that they hate is they don't like being called sweetheart. That is the one word I have found that always pisses them off. If you
Yeah.
call them sweetheart, they go to the next level immediately. And then if I can get that troll so upset and just looking like an asshole, then I feel like I've won.
That's fun, man. Hey, if you ever experience that again, then please snapshots. We would love to have a great laugh here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
I'll just be something like, hey, thanks for all the kind words, sweetheart. I really appreciate you. And they just cannot resist. If you throw that sweetheart in there, they will just go off.
I kind of want to see that, man. You know, next time I get one, I'm definitely using that, dude. I'm using the Benson approach. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
But there's also people that just like they just don't know how to deliver feedback. So they have something to say about your work, but it's all negative and it's just rude. And so in those instances, I just try to, as best I can, just coach them on like, if you're going to deliver feedback to somebody, try to start with something positive before you lead into something negative. Don't only focus on the things that you think are wrong or fucked up. Try to offer up something positive. It usually doesn't go over well because they don't understand why that's necessary, but usually I just try to coach them on how to deliver feedback to people.
Sweet. And last question on my part, brother, just so we could definitely close this out. Um, Out of everything that you'd learned during your entire art career, your art life, what is the number one tip that you can share to anybody wanting to draw, or even your veterans out there? What's something that you've learned or that you could help um, inspire maybe other artists, man?
I think a lot of people want to know how to get there quickly, and I just don't think there is a way to do that. A lot of people want to know, like, what's the fastest way to learn how to draw? How do I get to where you're at, next year? And it just doesn't work like that. And I think people have to understand that this is a long game. And the thing is, there's a starting point, but there's no end point. You're never going to get to a point where you're like, well, I reached it. This is like the best I'm going to be. I'm at my pinnacle right now. Like, you can always push yourself a little bit more. And every single artist I've talked to, there's not a single one who doesn't want to be better to some degree. Like, we are always sort of looking at what we're doing and thinking about how we can improve and how we can get to the next level. That's just how artists think. And so there really is no finishing point. There's no stopping point. And I think people just have to understand that going into it, that this is going to be very incremental, small progress you're making every day. And it's just never going to end. You're just going to keep going and going.
Well said. Man, Brendan Benson in the house, dropping them knowledge. Wish he was dropping more F-bombs. But no, it's a joke. But definitely dropping that knowledge, man. And yeah, dude. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Dude, you've been a super amazing guest, dude. Definitely always looking forward to speaking with you and all my other guests. And you're always welcome back, bro. So
I appreciate what you do. I think what you're doing is amazing, getting artists connected, getting them to talk about their work and sharing tips. I mean, I think there needs to be a lot more of that. What you guys are doing is, I think, ahead of the curve quite a bit.
oh, thank you very much. And yeah, man, there's definitely others. I've named them in the at the beginning of the show there. And I'll close with that as well. But yeah, man, the community that's springing up from people just interviewing other artists, like you said, I think it's amazing. I think, just what we've been talking about, the art community, I think it's better if we stick together and drive forward as opposed to being separate, So
100%.
Cool. Sweet. And Brandon, man, well, thank you very much, dude. I'll definitely see you later in the weeks and lives, and you have and your family have a very great New Year, man. And
You too, man. I appreciate the opportunity, for real. Thank you.
yeah, and thank you for your time, man. It always means a lot to me. I definitely appreciate it, and I don't take it for granted. So just know that. Cool. Well, as we're closing here, once again, guys, let's go ahead and look for Brendan Benson. You guys can find him here at benson.inc. That's benson.inc. Find him on Etsy at the etsy.com/shop/Mr. Grumble's Workshop. Definitely purchase some awesome prints, stickers. That's the topic for next month or next time you're on. We'll definitely talk sticker game because it's very big as well. That being said, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you here on Chatting with Zim. Shout out to Seven is Life, Dead and Laughing, Monsters Art Clan. You got Respect the Artist. These are people who also do the same thing I'm doing. So make sure you guys are go checking them out. Big shout out to Josh for Kicks, Notorious Pez, Art by Eisendoval, Blackjack Davey. I see you guys in pushing this community forward as well. So thank you guys very much. Your presence is very loved and welcome here, man. So that's it, guys. This is episode number 86 of Chatting with Zim. We're our guest, Brendan Benson at benson.inc. Benson, my friend, thanks again, brother. And have a great night.
Thank you, man.
And thank you, everybody who came in. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You're very welcome, bro. And everybody else who stepped in, if you're not an artist, definitely appreciate you. Feel free to DM us. Go ahead, make sure you guys give them a follow. It takes maybe about a second or two. And I couldn't have done it without you guys. Remember, stay creative, trust the process, and that's pretty much it, guys. I'll see you guys to the next one, where next month we'll have Trip Design Studios, art by Grant Dale, Con Artist Graphic Design, art by The Anomaly, not in any particular order, but we'll get to you later. Brendan, I'm out, brother. Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
Thank you all. Thanks. You too. Peace out, guys. We are out of here. Maybe now.
Wait, are we still live?